Hey everyone, it's me, Matt. Welcome back to my Florida garden. So in today's video, it is another wet and rainy day, and my plan is to tackle my front porch hanging baskets. If you remember, I planted them up earlier this spring with some pink calibrachoas, white verbenas, and some chartreuse green creeping Jenny, and they looked beautiful for about a week. And then we had a heat wave. I was actually away on vacation for about 6 days, and we had a heat wave, and they totally dried out and have been struggling ever since. So in today's video, we are gonna give them a new lease on life and get them planted up with some beautiful new plants. So let me spin you around and we'll get started. All right, so jumping right in, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it is drizzling just a little bit. We've had some rain clouds passing by on and off all morning. This is a little bit of a sun shower at the moment. You can see the sun is out. There's lots of sun here in my garden at the moment. It looks so pretty. Everything's all wet with rain, and then the sun is just making everything glisten. So yeah, we're gonna work through it. Hopefully there's no thunder or lightning. I will be calling it quits if there's thunder or lightning. But jumping right in, you can see I've got my flowers here, my plants all laid out for my hanging baskets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different varieties. You can see I'm continuing on with kind of the pink, purple, and white theme. We'll go over all these plants in just a minute. Over here, I've got my 2 hanging baskets. They are all cleared out. I've got cocoa core liners that I put in them earlier this season, so they're good to go for probably one more planting, and then I'm gonna have to replace these brown cocoa core liners. These hanging baskets are 12 inches across. They're about 6 or 7 inches from top to bottom, and then if you measure from the hook here down to the bottom of the basket, they're about 21 to 22 inches. They're not the largest hanging baskets. They were like the medium-sized ones when I bought them at Lowe's earlier this year. So yeah, I think they're a good size for the scale of my front porch. The span here from here to here is about 14 feet. And you can see I've got them mounted. You can see the chains hanging there. I'll show you a close-up over here on this one. They're mounted using J-hooks. You can see I've got the J-hook installed here on the back. There's 2 screws, and then I've got 2 sets of chains. So you can see there's 4 links to kind of lower the baskets to give them a little bit of a better scale here on the porch. So stepping back again, you can see got them both there, 1 and 2. As far as our plants for today, I've kind of got, using the thrill, fill, spill technique. Let me move so that you don't see my shadow. The thrill, spill, fill technique. So our thrillers are going to be these variegated liriopes here. These plants, full transparency, $2.98 each. These are perennials, so after I have them here in my hanging baskets, I can move them out into my landscape. In the late summer, early fall, they will produce flowers. Actually, I've got some liriopes over here. They're not the variegated form, but you can see this is kind of like what those flowers look like. They're little spires of delicate kind of lavender colored blooms. So that's exciting. I do like these ones though because of their variegated strappy leaf texture. The next plant that I've got here, this is a Persian shield. Beautiful plant, bright purple, kind of glossy leaves. These plants can get pretty big though. I will be size controlling them and trimming them to kind of make sure they don't get out of hand in my hanging baskets, but I think that they offer a really nice contrast with the lighter variegated leaves, along with all the green that's gonna be in this basket from the flowers. These ones here, these are SunPatiens. It's basically an impatient hybrid that can take more sun than the typical impatient, but they also can take shade. And I love their kind of purple pink color. These ones have a nice mounding growth habit. They'll grow probably, at full mature size, anywhere from 18 to 24 inches, tall and wide, maybe a little bit smaller. These plants I forgot to mention. These were $3.98 each for the Persian shields. And then this, I want to say they were like $6. Yeah, $5.98 each. Next up, my tried and true Torenias. I've got the pink Torenias here with the little white throats, with a little hint of yellow. These plants were $1.98 each. Back here, you can actually see their full growth habit. This one here, this is all one plant. It's about 12 inches by 12 inches, a beautiful mounding growth habit. The next plant here, I'm kind of incorporating some little tropicals. These are actually part of the Leaf Joy collection. They're called Network News Nightly. They're Fittonias. but you can see they've got a beautiful kind of variegated pink and green leaf. These ones, I don't believe they flower, but they just offer really beautiful leaf color and texture, and they'll have a mounding growth habit that I think will look really good in my hanging baskets. And then lastly, I've got this ivy, variegated ivy, as my spiller. It is called Design Ivy. The full name is Hedera helix, but I thought these would be really beautiful to have cascading out of my hanging baskets. So that's kind of the lay of the land as it comes to our overview for the work area and our plants. So let me throw you guys up on the tripod. I think I'm gonna do the planting over here in this area. That way I can kind of keep the dirt from the soil in the mulch and not make a huge mess here on my walkway. So let me put you up on the tripod and we'll get going. So while we move over to the work area, I did want to say I don't have any slow release fertilizer this week. I used all of it when I planted in my beautiful flower beds here in my front yard. Here's kind of a 1 week after shot, if you will. I used up all of my plant tone, so I don't have any for today. So pretend that I'm using plant tone fertilizer with this planting project. What do they say? Do as I say, not as I do. And then also the potting mix that I'm gonna be using feeds for up to 6 months, so that's helpful. So let me throw you guys up on the tripod right here and we'll get going. Also, it just dawned on me, I don't think I gave you the price of the Fittonia and the Variegated Ivy. This Variegated Ivy was just under $6, $5.98 for this one. And then this one was also $5.98. So I think I gave you the price on all of them. So now let's get to planting. So for this, I'm just gonna move the chain out of the way. We'll fill the basket with a little bit of soil. The soil is wet. May have put in a little bit too much. So there we go. So we're gonna start with the Variegated Liriope in the center. I'm actually just gonna put the containers into the hanging basket, then fill it with soil, and then I'm gonna slip all of the plants right into the little planting holes in the soil. It'll make sense in just a second. Bear with me. Move this one out of the way so you can see. So see how I have all of the containers in the basket. Now I'm gonna put soil over all this to really fill in all of the loose areas, and then I'll be able to pull these containers out and slip the plants right in their place. So now we just pop all these out and place the plants in their spots. So it's pretty simple. I'm gonna use some of the soil to pack in around the root balls just to make sure everything's nice and tight in the basket, but you can see, pretty easy planting method, right? Alrighty. Mess with the chain a little bit, but you get the picture. It's so beautiful, I think. It turned out so well. So let me quickly do the other one, and then we'll get them hanging on the front porch. All right, so I brought you guys in a little bit closer. So you can see, this is what I'm considering the front of this basket. This is the back. So we are going to do the mirror image of this basket with this one. So we're gonna do the Liriope in the center, and then we're gonna have the Fittonia over here. No, Fittonia over here. This is gonna be the English ivy. This is our SunPatient. This is the Torenia, and then in the back here will be the Persian shield. There, let me just pack some soil in around these root balls. Making a huge mess here in the mulch. So there we go. All done, the mirror image of the other basket. So now I'm gonna water the leaves off just to get the dirt. You can see there's a ton of dirt on the plants. Just gonna give them a light drizzle with the watering can, and then we'll get them hung up on my front porch J-hooks. All right, so we did a light water to kind of clean off the plants. So now let's get them hung up on the J-hooks. It's always hard to find the hook here on top. Try to get it organized. Make sure the plants all look good. They're not being pulled awkwardly by the chain. Probably need to do a rinse off again. All right, let me go get this one hung up. So there we go. My hanging baskets are all positioned on my front porch. I think they look so beautiful, and I'm wrapping up this video just in time because I just heard thunder and I think it's about to start raining. There's some light wind coming in, so let me quickly wrap this up. Coming in closer, you can see just how beautiful they are. I love this plant combination. I really like the Liriope in the center. It kind of helps hide the chains, that upright growth habit. And the flowers are definitely my go-tos for this time of year. The Torenias, the SunPatiens, and the Persian shields. I haven't used the Persian shields in a long time, but they are really great plants for high heat and humidity. And I'm also really excited about the variegated pink and green. Was it the Tithonia? Is that what it was called? No. It's Fittonia, not Tithonia. I think Tithonia is the Mexican sunflower, but don't quote me on that. In any case, I love the pink and green variegated leaves of the Fittonia plants, along with the ivy, the variegated leaves on the ivy. I think these baskets are gonna look so beautiful as they mature, with the ivy kind of spilling out of the baskets. Again, the mounding growth habit of all the other plants, and then the real upright vertical growth habit of the Liriopes. These baskets are gonna look so beautiful as they mature. They look beautiful right now. I'm so glad that I was able to pack in so many plants to give them that really full appearance from the get-go. So as far as watering, I plan to water these baskets every week, maybe twice a week if it's really hot. And then when it comes to fertilizer, I'm gonna be using the Proven Winners Premium water-soluble plant food once a week. So I'll add these baskets into my weekly water-soluble plant food rotation. And yeah, they should do good. They should do well for the rest of the summer season, so long as I don't go on vacation for a week and forget to water them before I leave, because that was the culprit of my prior baskets, my spring baskets that just struggled from week one. Let me give you another look from over here again. I think it just turned out so beautiful. It really kind of sets the tone for the front porch. It really adds that kind of lush, high vertical element. I don't know if you can hear the thunder in the background, but I just heard some thunder. But yeah, I think that was kind of the capstone on my front yard garden. We did the flower beds here last week, and they're looking so beautiful. I'll give you a little sneak peek, little tour. You can see the Tebucina exploded with blooms, looking so gorgeous with these electric purple blooms. And everything else has settled in nicely. I've even got some new zinnia seedlings popping up here and here. It's just looking so beautiful. I love this plant combination. There hasn't really been any heat stress with these plants. None of them have really wilted. It's been hot, but it's also, like I said, we've been getting a lot of rain. So these plants have really had the opportunity to settle in to their new homes. Again, I think I said it in last week's video, this is one of my favorite corners. I just love how this looks, and it's only gonna look better as it fills in. Over here, This one's looking good, this whole area. And in a matter of 4 to 6 weeks, it should look very similar to how this front porch seasonal flower bed looks, with the lush growth here. The mounding growth habit of these plants is incredible, and their heat and humidity tolerance is the best part. So again, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I love how these hanging baskets turned out. Let me get you one quick close up. It was kind of difficult to get them to kind of rest in the place that I wanted them to. I'm gonna have to maybe mess with the chains a little bit, but I think they're looking good. And I am so happy that I was able to accomplish this project today. Really quick before we wrap up, look at how dark the skies are. This thunderstorm is rolling in. If you look over here, we've still got some blue skies and some white clouds, but it is looking pretty dark and ominous over toward the east. So with these storms rolling in, now is a better time than ever to wrap up this video. I hope I've inspired you to plant up some beautiful hanging baskets for your own front porch. They add so much character and curb appeal. If you haven't already done so, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons so you can hang out with me in future videos. And as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.